Jai Jinendra, Panch Parmeshti ko Naman. Welcome to my channel Love for Jainism by Neha Gandhi Gill. You have learned this Mahamantra's meaning, benefits, and science, the power in theory. Now let's witness the power in action. Prepare for the incredible true stories of the Navakar Mantra. The stories are endless, but I have chosen the ones that offer you the most practical value, lessons that you can implement for your day to day life. A merchant is cursed to die. A family's car flies off a cliff. A doctor has no answers. Which one powerful force connects them all? The answer is Navakar Mantra. Imagine a single prayer so sacred, it holds the entire essence of Jain wisdom. But it's not just words. Science tells us its 68 letters create powerful vibrations. And add these divine vibrations with pure intent and devotion, bhav behind every chant. Once all these three unite, the essence, science, and intent, they create an extraordinary force. A force that has manifested incredible stories across centuries. And today, you will hear some of them. Story of protection and safety. This is a true story from the life of our 23rd Tirthankar Parshvanath Bhagwan. In Varanasi, young Prince Parshvanath, through his Avadhignan, saw two snakes trapped in sacrificial firewood. With compassion, he stopped the ritual and whispered Navakar Mantra. The terrified snakes calmed, freed by the mantra's vibration. Reborn later as Dhanendra Dev and Devi Padmavati, the snakes would shield Parshvanath Bhagwan in his toughest trial. The eternal truth that emerges from the story is that kindness binds souls across lifetime. Sanjambhav, a merchant, was cursed to die by a snake bite on the seventh day. Following Bhagwan Mahavir's direct advice, he secluded himself and did nothing but continuously recited the Navakar mantra with unwavering focus. On the fateful night, a giant snake appeared, but instead of striking, it found itself unable to penetrate the powerful spiritual shield of energy generated by the chanting. Humbled, the serpent bowed its head and slithered away, leaving Sanjambhav unharmed. The spiritual truth from this story is that in moments of danger or uncertainty, sitting still and focusing only on the Navakar mantra creates a mental shield stronger than panic. A Jain family was traveling on a pilgrimage, chanting the Navakar mantra as their car navigated the treacherous mountain roads. Without warning, the car's brakes failed, sending them hurtling towards the cliff's edge. As they called out to the Panchaparameshtis, the vehicle miraculously swerved and came to a jarring but a safe stop against a large boulder that seemed to appear from nowhere. The family walked away without a scratch, their faith unshaken. The wisdom from the story is that chanting aligns us with unseen forces of protection. During long or uncertain journey, softly chanting Navakar ensures calm and safe passage. Across the sea, Jain merchants once faced a deadly storm. Waves rose like mountains, sails ripped, hopes drowned. But together they folded hands, chanting Navakar mantra into the raging wind. Slowly the sea grew calm, clouds parted, and their ship drifted safe to shore. Even the ocean bowed before the mantra. Practical value: when a group faces crisis on water, in travel, or even in business, chanting Navakar together transforms fear into unity and strength. A raging wildfire engulfed everything on the hillside. A poor farmer watched his ears crop about to burn. With folded hands, he chanted Navakar mantra into the night. To the shock of all, the flames stopped at the boundary, sparing his harvest. The villagers whispered. The fire feared his faith. The spiritual anchor from this story is that in natural calamities like fire, flood, storm, reciting Navakar mantra with deep faith can invoke protection for life and livelihood. A merchant's home was targeted by thieves. As they broke in, the family sat reciting Navakar aloud. The intruders suddenly felt blinded by an unseen brilliance and fled into terror. When asked why, they said, "The house glazed with fire we could not bear." The spiritual practice of chanting Navakar daily at home, especially before sleep, creates a protective aura that repels negativity and danger. This practice of creating a protective aura is why our acharyas advise us to chant Navakar 8 times in the morning and 7 at night. I have explained the profound reason behind this in part 4 of this series. Link is in the description below. So go and watch this video and tell me in the comments if you have made your children or grandchildren start this spiritual practice. Stories of healing and recovery. Do watch, like, share, and subscribe to my channel Love for Jainism by Neha Gandhi Gill. Being a new channel, your support means a lot to me. The mother's recovery. An old woman was diagnosed with a severe, seemingly incurable illness. Doctors offered little hope. Her devout daughter refused to give up. She organized a Navakar Mahayagna at home, inviting friends and family to collectively chant the mantra 1.25 million times with a pure heart, dedicating the merit to her mother's health. Against all medical odds, the mother began to recover. Within a year, she was completely healed, a living testament to the power of collective prayer, Samudaik Aradhana. This story tells us that our family and friends can be our circle of healing. Collective chanting can support healing during long illnesses when medicine alone feels limited. The water of healing. A woman suffered from crippling chronic migraines for over a decade. Medical treatment offers only temporary relief. Upon advice, she began a spiritual practice of drinking water that has been charged by chanting the Navakar mantra into it. Jab Jal every morning. Within months, the frequency and intensity of her migraines reduced dramatically. She credits the mantra's vibrational energy for restoring her body's natural balance. The practical value of the story is to chant Navakar mantra over drinking water, Jab Jal, and consume it daily. A simple way to infuse routine with healing vibrations. A respected elder was struck by paralysis, unable to move or speak. With faith, his family recited Navakar beside his bed daily. Slowly, sensation returned, his hands folded, and he whispered the Navakar himself. Doctors called it impossible, he called it grace. Navakar had lifted him from stillness to strength. Consistent chanting at a patient's bedside acts as a healing presence which can provide comfort and at times unexpected recovery. A farmer bitten by a deadly cobra collapsed. His friends rushed him to a doctor's hut, reciting Navakar in unison. As their voices filled the air, his breathing steadied and the swelling ceased. By sunrise, he walked again. The village declared the venom bowed to the mantra. In emergencies like bites, injuries, or heart issues, chanting Navakar as first response alongside treatment brings strength, calm, and cure. A child burnt with fever that medicine could not tame. At midnight, at midnight, the mother sat at his side, softly repeating Navakar. By dawn, his skin cooled and he opened his eyes with a smile. She whispered, "No doctor cured him, the mantra did." Parents can chant Navakar besides children during fever or restless nights as mantra of comfort to soothe them. A young mother struggled with labor pains. She insisted that her relatives chant Navakar together. Moments later, her cries softened and she delivered safely. Her immense happiness was that her baby heard Navakar as the first sound. She would always say, "My child's first cradle was the mantra's sound." A sacred welcome in this world to a child is what all parents want. Families can support expectant mothers by chanting during labor, creating a calm and safe environment. Stories of spiritual experiences and inner transformations. The brilliant scholar. A student struggled terribly with his studies, unable to focus or remember his lessons. His teacher, a devout Jain, saw his distress and gave him a simple ritual. Before you study, write the Navakar Mantra 5 times to focus, then chant it 11 times to invoke blessings. The student followed this diligently. His mind became clear, his concentration sharpened, and he began to grasp concepts with ease. He eventually became one of the most brilliant scholars. This ritual for focus begins with just a few minutes of writing or reciting the Navakar mantra before studying. Over the course of time, this will clear mental clutter, sharpen focus, and invite the blessings of knowledge. Parents can build this simple habit into their children and witness their remarkable transformation. A large family was torn apart by a bitter property dispute. Yelling matches were common. An elderly grandmother insisted that before any discussion, everyone must sit in silence and chant the Navakar mantra together 9 times. Reluctantly, they agreed. The act of unified chanting dissolved the anger in the room. The subsequent discussions were held with respect and understanding, leading to a fair solution that felt divinely guided. A mantra of harmony before family discussions or conflicts, chanting Navakar together ensures calmer dialogues and better outcomes. Release from nightmares. A child haunted by nightmares was taught Navakar mantra by his grandmother. That night, he slept soundly, waking with joy. He told her, I saw a shield of light around me. She said that shield was Navakar. Parents can teach children to chant Navakar before sleep, creating a shield of protection at night. I can relate to this story because this is exactly what I experienced as a child. This is when my mother, my Guruma, explained me the reason behind chanting Navakar mantra 7 times before sleep. See my previous video, part 4 of this Navakar series for more details. Excuse me. In a forest, a monk recited Navakar as lions and wild animals roamed nearby. They came close, sniffed, and quietly departed. Villagers later asked if the sadhu was afraid. The reply was, fear leaves when Navakar enters. In situation of fear, wild animals, night walks, solitude, repeating Navakar instills courage and steadiness, acting as a shield of inner fortitude. Release from past karmas. A devotee, weary from years of betrayal, loss, and failures, felt life itself was punishing him. Every step forward seemed chained to past mistakes. One night, in tears, he turned to the Navakar mantra. As he recited, a heaviness lifted, like invisible chains breaking. He realized the mantra does not erase karma, but it awakens the strength to overcome it. Practical value. When life feels burdened with struggles, chanting Navakar mantra provides the inner strength to endure and rise. Spiritual resilience. Stories of blessing and auspiciousness. A woman was devastated after losing a precious and sentimental piece of jewelry. After searching for hours, she sat down, closed her eyes, and chanted Namo Arihantanam 5 times with genuine faith. Upon opening her eyes, she felt a sudden surge to look inside a specific book on her shelf. She had checked there before, but this time she found the jewelry tucked safely within its pages. In times of small losses or confusion, pause. Chant Navakar mantra. This creates an inner illumination and offer reveals what is hidden. A young couple moved into a new apartment which was plagued by a persistent feeling of unease and negative energy. Remembering traditional teachings, they cleaned the entire house. lit a lamp, and walked through every room chanting the Navakar Mantra aloud to purify the space. The oppressive atmosphere lifted immediately, replaced by a palpable sense of peace and positivity that made it truly feel like home. A spiritual reality, chanting Navakar purifies and brings peace. Families should chant Navakar while entering new homes to purify the space. After months of failed interviews and job search despair, a professional changed his routine. He started showering, wearing clean clothes, and chanted the Navakar mantra 21 times with focus before checking his mails or taking calls. He felt a shift in his energy and confidence. Within 2 weeks, he received an unexpected call for a perfect position he hadn't even applied for, and he aced the interview. A mantra for auspicious beginnings. Job seekers can begin each day with Navakar to boost confidence and attract opportunities. A businessman lost all his wealth in misfortune. Broken but faithful, he now started each day reciting Navakar mantra 8 times in the morning. He had heard this in a pravachan a long while ago. Slowly, opportunities returned, deals succeeded, and his fortune rebuilt. He said, Navakar gave me more than riches. It gave me patience until fortune returned. During financial strain, regular chanting, a form of spiritual anchoring, builds patience and brings stability until fortune turns. Do check out the part 4 of Navakar series to understand why we need to chant this Mahamantra 8 times in the morning. Do also subscribe to my channel. Let's summarize. Navakar Mahamantra has protected, healed, transformed, and blessed across ages. It is not tied to time, place, or person. Across every song, every day, there is a new story. Which one did you like the best? Let me know in the comments. My sincere thank you for watching. What's next? What is next? What makes this Mahamantra so powerful? The attributes of the Panchaparmeshtis. So do subscribe, share, comment to my channel Love for Jainism by Neha Gandhi Gill and press that bell icon now. Jai Jinendra. If I have knowingly or unknowingly written, said, or in thoughts, words, or deed against Vitarag's Vani, I seek forgiveness. Michhami Dukram.